Hey everyone. So the people that are closest to me, I've been sharing about different technology that is apparently due to come out. And it looks like it's technology that would benefit, all of us. Those with sicknesses, those with diseases, those that are in need of surgery that could be life-saving. And we all have dealt with, the whole surgery aspect and dealing with medicine and such like that. But, you know, I've been I've been looking into, this different technology and, of course, the title of this video, I put DEM, and if you reverse that, you get med. And I'm speaking about those, and then at the end of it, beds. So I'm going to call it dem beds because I don't want my YouTube channel flagged or anything like that. So, but I do want to share with you information. Now, I don't know if you listen to Charlie Ward or Simon Parks, but I want to give like a little background information. You know that we have all dealt with big pharma, and I really don't know the specifics. It's stuff that I've heard, but I can't retell it without really writing it down and giving you the details on paper. But this technology has existed, and I'll get into this technology. But this technology that I will be speaking about that could have helped so many people, it has been kept from us for years. And I believe it was first developed in the 40s. So who knows how many knew about it, but they didn't want to release it because they want to hold people captive, and in their sicknesses and diseases and whatever, because these people wanted to make money. And so, it all has to do with, I believe it's, the Rothschilds and Soros and all that, whoever's behind Big Pharma, keeping people captive. But, as I have heard from both Charlie Ward, Simon Parks, and, many others, is that we are currently under, of course, the current financial system where we're dealing with, I guess, the money that we currently have. Well, they are looking to switch, whenever that will be, to the quantum financial system, to where there could be nobody that could get rich like the current system that we have now. We've had people that have, stolen money and hoarded it for themselves, like the Vatican, in which recently, the gold that they hoarded has been taken. And not only from there, but many other places. It's been taken. It's been, I believe it was, they've all been labeled, they've been tracked, according to Charlie Ward. And so now this wealth is going to be redistributed, from what they have said, to all of us. So once this quantum financial system is switched on, then that means that this new technology can come out. There will be apparently no more need for hospital visits. You don't have to deal with hospitals anymore. So when this new system comes on, I don't know. It's up to, those that are regaining control over our countries. Now, if you've listened to Simon Ward and Simon Ward, Simon Parks and Charlie Ward, then, they can give you specifics. Apparently, they are, talking with those that, do know about what is going on. Sorry, my cat's on my lap, as you can see. So, I would ask that, you check them out for yourself. And, there's people that are very critical of these guys and, whatever. If you want to remain critical with them and not listen to them, that, that's your choice. But I choose to take the chance of listening to them because, this new technology is interesting. I mean, I am reserved about the intents on it because we're so used to, a lot of evil people, that are out there for the purpose of getting rich or whatever, and they'll do so at any means. But like I said, once this quantum financial system is switched on, then that means that you no longer have the people out there, that are going to try to steal from you anymore. You're not going to have these people that are going to, trying to keep you under any kind of sickness. Now, what's going to come out with these MED beds is all of this sickness and disease will be dealt with in these beds. And it's not only these MED beds, but it's what I've heard, the celestial chambers. I know it sounds crazy, but I would ask that you look it up for yourself. Download the search engine DuckDuckGo and look it up for yourself because you cannot find anything on Google. They've taken everything down, and until the white hats get in control, that's what's going to happen. So download DuckDuckGo, the browser, and then look in the search engine for the MED beds and the celestial chambers, and then you can read for yourself. And it's up to you. You could choose whether or not to listen to it or whatever, but I would rather stay informed rather than to be uninformed. And a lot of people can call me crazy or whatever, like those that are close to me. But I want to be informed of this, and I want to keep everyone informed. So I have this picture that tells these 3 different types of med beds, and I'm going to share that with you. And, I want you to research for yourself to see how you feel about it. And I was driving one day, and I was listening to Micah chapter 4, as, I usually try to do that every morning where I listen to the word, to get that in. And so I came across Micah chapter 4, and it really brings it in mind about what apparently the plan is for the white hats once they regain control and the evil people have been dealt with. And apparently, from what I have read from a few different sources, is a good many of those in Hollywood who are involved in pedophilia and crimes against humanity have been dealt with. And when I mean dealt with, so you can look it up for yourself, look up for arrested and executed, and you will get a list of the people that have been dealt with. And according to Charlie Ward, HRC has been dealt with already. And if you are a Q follower, you're going to know who HRC is. So once the white hats are in control, then there's going to be nothing that's going to keep this technology from coming out. Now, how do I feel about it from a godly perspective? I don't know. But, we're so used to this evil that we have dealt with. We're used to untrustworthy people. And I've heard firsthand, in testimonies of different people, just how evil people can be, how they can abduct children and then abuse and kill them. And it's absolutely, horrendous. And I can't imagine the military that has gone underground under the, deep underground military bases and have seen these labs and such and these trafficked kids. And sadly, from what I have read and heard, is that many of these kids were killed. And it was not only under the White House, which, according to different sources, is now closed. And you could be like, well, what do you mean Biden's in the White House? Well, if you are a Q follower, then you're going to know that's not so. What we have currently right now is an actor, because Biden has been, from last year. And so what we have right now is an actor. He's wearing a mask. And I don't know. I mean, it could be James Woods or it could be Jim Carrey. I don't know. But I guess it will be revealed soon. And all this has to happen. This stuff like this has to happen to wake the people up who have voted for Biden. So, there's so much that I have read and heard about. And, in some ways it excites me, but from a God point of view, I don't know. I don't know if there's anything nefarious. And, we're so up in arms with this whole COVID vaccine. We have read what it does. The AstraZeneca causes blood clots and many of these others. And so many people are so willing to get their lives back to normal that they're willing to take this vaccine. And so I don't want to say too much because I don't want my channel to be taken down. But, I would say if you're contemplating on getting it, you need to research for yourself what's going on. But from what I've read about these MED beds is that it reverses this whole vaccine damage. So I've heard once it's switched on, I heard that this technology is going to come out, and it may come out at the end of this year from what I've heard. So getting into these different types of MED beds, according to this meme, there are 3 different types. There is a holographic med bed. There is a regenerative med bed, which regenerates tissue in different body parts. And that's powered by, from what this says, a different source. There is a reatomization med beds that in about 2 to 3 minutes will regenerate the whole human body, head to toe. What does this advanced technology mean for an 80-year-old woman? She could be 30 years old again in less than 3 minutes. 50 years peeled off her life. Now she can have children again. She could have a whole new family if she wants. It looks like to this writer that the MedBeds technology is a perpetual fountain of youth. So that's what this meme says that has been passed around. Now, I've heard, according to what this says, that one MedBed can, if you have lost a limb, that will grow back. I guess it goes according to your DNA, and it matches your other arm, and then it grows it back. It could be arms, legs. Another one deals with cancer. Another deals with possibly, diabetes or whatever it might be. And then you have these celestial chambers, and I'm going to try to give you some links according, to the bottom of this so you can see for yourself this technology that's going to come out. But it may sound farce, it may sound crazy to you, but you need to look up for yourself, the truth in this. So So as I was listening to the Bible, like I said earlier in the video, and I came across Micah chapter 4, and it says, starting with verse 3 to 5, he will judge between many peoples and will settle disputes for strong nations far and wide. They will beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation will not take up sword against nation, nor will they train for war anymore. Everyone will sit under their own vine and under their own fig tree, and no one will make them afraid. For the Lord Almighty has spoken. All the nations may walk in the name of their gods, but we will walk in the name of the Lord our God forever and ever. And you know, it seems like this exact scripture here could be, this time that is coming when, people are taking advantage of the med beds. People want to become younger. Those that have served in the military lost their limbs. They have them grow back, so, looking at each of these, I always thought that maybe this was when the Lord returns. And I mean, on one side of the token, it could be, the Lord reigns through the hearts of his people, or it could be the Lord returns physically and this will be fulfilled. But let's look at it from, in the hearts of the people, that he's not here physically, but is in heaven. When this technology comes out and we're, the currency is backed by the gold standard, where silver, gold, and other precious metals, is more or less the currency. There's going to be no way through this quantum financial system that anyone can rob another. They can hack or anything, because from what I've heard is that the quantum, it more or less checks your thinking, and if you have any ill intent, then automatically I guess it takes you out of the current program that you're currently in which you're trying to rob somebody. So this new technology, this current internet that we have right now, when all the white hats have full control, from what I have read is that the internet will be taken down, and there apparently will be 10 days of darkness. And I believe it's for 3 days, 8 hours, they're going to show the military tribunals of all those that have been arrested, and you're going to hear their confessions from what I've heard. But as of now, we're waiting for, I guess, the scare event in which this will happen. So, if you want good information, check out on Telegram under the name Whiplash347, and he gives good information. He decodes a lot of Q's posts, so you can check them out for yourself. So once the gold standard happens, then there's the quantum financial system takes over. We're going to have quantum internet. You can check that information out possibly on YouTube if it's still up. Look up Starlink, I believe 17. Look up quantum internet and you'll get all the information that you need for that. So the current internet will be taken down, which is good because, it's riddled with evil garbage, and hopefully all the pornography will be taken down as well. And this new internet is supposed to be so many times better. So with each of these verses, once this gold standard hits, then, like I said, there's not going to be any way to hack the system in order to gain money. The reason for a lot of crime is money. People want to get rich. People want to steal for that very purpose. Well, you can't do that now. So when that is taken away from you, what's going to be the focus is humanity. From what I have heard, is that, if somebody needs help, you're going to help them. You'll get into things that you haven't done before. I've heard that with the new technology, you can take a trip to Mars or whatever. And I know it sounds crazy, but that's only because we're used to what we're used to on this earth. We're not used to seeing anything like that. And there's going to be a wake-up call for so many people from, all the information that has been kept from them. They're going to find out exactly what has been going on. So there's going to be apparently peace from what I have read, the technology and such like that. And if it is true that this verse pertain to what's going to happen, it says they will beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Well, what's the need of a sword and a spear? That's for war. Well, if you're putting that away, there's no war. There's nothing but peace. Nation will not take up sword against nation, nor will they train for war anymore. Well, what's the purpose of war except, when money is the focus? Control is the focus. Well, when all this stuff comes out, there's not going to be any need for that anymore. We'll be at peace with each other. Everyone will sit under their own vine and under their own fig tree, and no one will make them afraid. So apparently, from what I've heard, is that all the wealth that has been taken away from the Vatican and all these people that were in control, it's going to be apparently redistributed to each of us. So where we can have our own vine and our own fig tree, and so I've heard that, since the gold standard will happen, we're going back to 50s prices. So you're not going to deal with cars that are $50,000 anymore. If anything, they're going to be like what, $5,000? And so the other technology that apparently is going to come out is that we have flying cars. There's flying car airports, from what I've heard. So that's going to be, pretty amazing. So everyone will sit under their own vine and under their own fig tree. And, when apparently this wealth is redistributed to us, we will be able to do that. Now, what really makes me think that maybe these verses do apply to today is that I've heard from Charlie Ward and all that, is that, people, if you follow Allah, he says that if you follow Allah, listen to Allah. If you follow God, listen to God. If you don't follow either of them, then listen to your parents. So, in this verse, it says, all the nations may walk in the name of their gods, but we will walk in the name of the Lord our God forever and ever. And, according to these verses, I don't know what it pertains to. I always thought that, you either accept Jesus or, you're not going to make it to heaven. I mean, that's what I always thought, according to John 14:6, and it may still be that. But according to what this verse says here, is that God is giving the man the freedom to choose his own way. I don't know. So, I mean, take it for what you want to take it as, but, I heard that there's going to be, so much has been kept in the Vatican from us, books of the Bible that has been, kept from us, and it's all for the purpose of control. They want to keep us into control. So I don't know what those books are. I'm reserved about it. I mean, if it's the Gospel of Thomas, they're talking about the Gospel of Peter, Gospel of Mary, Gospel of Barnabas, then, I don't agree with those because they're inconsistent. And if you read the Gospel of Thomas, you can see that for yourself. So, I don't know. I mean, I agree with the Book of Enoch. I'm all for that because, Jesus quoted it. It was quoted in the Book of Jude. So that was kept from the people, and you could disagree with me all you want, but it was cited by them, and it has been kept out of the Bible. So I believe I've touched on everything here, but check for yourself. I will try to post this picture of the med beds as the picture of the video. I would ask that you would check out the information for yourself. Look up Charlie Ward on BitChute.com. Look up Simon Parkes on simonparkes.org. I mean, I don't listen to these videos that are against them. I like to think that these guys are good guys. And, only God could be the judge. So, I mean, it's up to you if you want to follow them or not. But, I mean, they apparently know exactly what is planned. So, what loss is it to you if they're not right? I mean, it just doesn't happen. But what if it does happen? What if this technology does come out and stuff? So, talking about my reservation on that, I don't know how I feel about it because I'm so used to untrustworthy people in this world. Those with ill intent, and those that I've read about that has killed children. I mean, who knows? I mean, I have that thinking that it could be a nefarious thing. What if, and I'll give you the link on it, but I'm still unsure. I don't know, and I don't want to spread my doubts about it to make you against it. So, just check it for yourself. I'm going to give you the links, or I'll try to give you the links so you can see for yourself. So I just wanted to share that with you, and I pray this information blesses you. Look into it for yourself. Yeah, don't take my word for it because I don't do it any justice. So I'm going to end it here. I just wanted to share it with you. Thanks for watching.